What's going on, people? We're back with the OverAF Wrestling Podcast. I am former pro wrestling champion Alex Thorne, and I'm joined by
Danny Garcia.
And man, we are here with the final episode of Season 2. I can't believe that we together, me and you, have gone through an entire season together.
Yeah.
With this episode, we're reaching at about 23 total. How's it been for you, man? What's the experience for you to be on this podcast?
It's a roller coaster, man. When I first started, I was kind of nervous, I'm like, man, it's a podcast. I've done some before, sports podcasts, NBA and stuff like that, but this after a while, man, it was like second nature, just talking to my friend, about something that I have a passion for. I've been watching since I was a kid, and I love it, man. I love it. Yeah,
absolutely. Same with me. I didn't think, I was going through some drama with season 1, but season 2, I was wondering, where are we going to take this? And I can't believe it. I'm a little sad that we're going to go on break, but I'm also excited for season 3.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be really good, man. Once the product, starts going back to normal, which might take a while, it's going to be really interesting to see how wrestling is gonna move forward through all this. You can only do so many empty arena matches, and how many ideas that they had with certain matches. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect the same results. So I'm excited to see where we're gonna go moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. This last month of March/April, we did the March to WrestleMania. In the archives, we reviewed WrestleMania 18, 12, 5, and 25, and today we are at WrestleMania 36, which just took place this last Saturday and Sunday. The first ever WrestleMania to span 2 days, as they marketed it, too big for one night. What do you think went into their decision for going more than one night?
Well, I think wrestlers' schedules. We all know that Brock Lesnar, was pissed off about not being able to record quick his matches. So I think that it's a better way to produce the matches and make sure that they look great. There's no botches, because when it's recorded, you can do whatever the hell you want. You could stop mid-match and redo it again. So I think they just really took their time to make sure that everything went smooth, especially with the Cena match, especially with the AJ and Undertaker match. I think those took a little bit of time to produce and stuff. But I think moving forward, this is going to be WrestleMania. It's a huge success. It's going to be 2 days.
Well, we've been all of us have been complaining that WrestleMania is too long, 5-6 hours. Some of them one of them almost reached 7 hours. And that is a long time. When you're there live, it's a long time, but when you're watching, it's even longer. And so I think with as many people as they have, and they've got these, 3-4 brands really?
Yeah.
205 as well is something else in conjunction with NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. I do think it was a smart move to split it up, because 3 hours and 3 hours, it went by really quickly.
Yeah, I think WrestleMania should be like that. It should be the Super Bowl of all 3 brands. So you got NXT, you got SmackDown, you got Raw. Dare I say, you may even split it up into one night will be the Raw WrestleMania, one night will be SmackDown WrestleMania, and maybe NXT sprinkled in there as well. That could be something moving forward as well that I think they'll think about doing.
Right, that's something that could happen. I know that once we tuned in, it opens up with Stephanie McMahon on both nights, which I was really thinking in my head, I was like, it's going to be Vince McMahon opening it. And he's going to talk about what's going on right now. But Stephanie is the face of the company going forward.
Yeah. If Vince would have showed up there, he probably would have heard our boos from from where he was. Boo!
I'm surprised, man. People love Vince. They actually pop all the time.
Not anymore, man. I feel like more people hate him now than they love him.
Really?
I do.
Interesting. So she opens up the night. She tells us about WrestleMania going to be in more than one location, hinting at what we were going to see that night.
Right.
By the way, it's taking place in the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. What did you think of the opening package for WrestleMania?
It was pretty cool. I like the opening package. The only bad thing is, you got Roman Reigns on there. He's not even on the show, but I thought it was pretty cool. It was well done. But the problem is they had this in mind when they were going to wrestle at that stadium, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneer Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the theme that they had in mind. But obviously in the Performance Center, this makes no sense, because it doesn't tie into that stadium and that football team and stuff.
I believe that it was a missed opportunity.
How so?
I think it was a missed opportunity for them because in this kind of, hopefully this makes them go back and think about things, is that all the fans have been complaining that every single setup is the same and it's just a bunch of screens.
Yeah.
Right? And before we used to have the big SmackDown fist, and we'd have,
that
the
was
King
great.
the King of the Ring electric chair.
Yeah.
All that stuff. We used to have so many cool things, different ladders, all this stuff. And imagine if they would have had set pieces that they were going to put in that arena, and they put some of those set pieces here in the Performance Center.
Yeah.
Because my biggest complaint about the look of this WrestleMania was it basically looked like Raw.
Yeah, it looked like, and remember how, I don't want me to pat myself on the back again, but I've been saying it before this, Barry Horowitz, before this all happened, I'd said WrestleMania had to be filmed a whole different way. Kind of like WrestleMania Theater. Exactly like what Undertaker and AJ did, what Cena and The Fiend did. It was different. And what were the top two matches everybody was talking about?
The both film matches.
Exactly, because it's something different. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
When people watch that stuff on TV, because also people that didn't watch. So let's say you have a friend that didn't watch wrestling, right? And there's no sports on right now. Everything's canceled. There's not a lot of stuff on TV, sporting wise, athletic wise. And you say, you know what, give wrestling a try. I don't really like that. It's not my thing. Yeah, but there's nothing else. I'll just give it a try. And they watched that Undertaker match. They watched that Bray Wyatt match. I promise you they would have been glued to the TV. It
kind of goes back to what we were talking about, about having missed opportunities with this event. I get that there can't be people, but they literally they didn't do anything for the Performance Center. They kept everything exactly the same as SmackDown and Raw. And it just makes me feel like, especially with the Goldberg match, like they didn't even mention Roman Reigns after that. They didn't tell us a reason why there wasn't interviews really done. I know Braxton, is that her name?
Kayla Braxton?
Yeah, Braxton.
Yeah.
Braxton did a couple interviews with guys, but there was nothing that was like in depth. It was still played as if it was normal.
Dude, for storyline purposes, have Braun attack Roman or something.
Something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There could have been something, and there could have been something with Vince McMahon. There could, or Triple H laying down the law. It's just, it felt like they were rushed to do this and didn't have much time. But it's not necessarily true because they've known about this for about 2 weeks.
So Triple H, they interviewed him, and he says, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna reveal what's gonna happen in a very interesting way, and people are gonna, whatever." You know what it was? A tweet. They literally showed the tweet and said Braun Strowman will be competing against Goldberg.
That was the interesting way?
That was the interesting way that they were going to do it.
I don't know. I just felt it was lazy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It was very lazy.
I felt it was lazy, man.
And sure, I understand, man. Like, it takes time to produce stuff like this. It does. I understand that. But they should have been ready for this a long time ago. Right when it would have been like, right when it was like rumored that there was going to be a shutdown, all that stuff, right then and there, they should have been, you know what, let's do this. Let's start recording.
Well, you know exactly what made this be so late in production. It was Vince.
Yeah, 100%. He wanted to hold out to the end.
He wanted to hold out. And we kind of mentioned it.
Yeah.
It was not going to be Vince's decision to say, you know what, we're going to do it like this. It had to be Florida itself to say, this can't take place.
He if it wouldn't have been for that, he would have wanted to do that.
But imagine if he would have done it and they limited the capacity.
Oh, yeah. That would not be. Yeah.
Imagine if they said, okay, you want to hold the show? Fine, but you can only have this many people. And they sold, 80,000 tickets and they said, no, you can only have,
6 people.
Yeah, something like that. That would have been nuts. So the show opens up with Gronk and Mojo. I have no idea who Gronk is, and you filled me in.
Yeah, get him off my TV.
But Mojo Rawley, I gotta tell you, I don't understand why this guy's on contract.
I don't know, man. They're just not.
It must be the
so
fear.
Annoying, dude.
Yeah, it's like, are there fans of Mojo Rawley?
hype brothers, you know, just
There's people who can relate to this.
Yeah, they're of course.
Oh my
Absolutely,
God.
man.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know anything about it, but our first match for WrestleMania 36 is for the Women's Tag Team Championship between Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and the Kabuki Warriors. I'm not going to even try to say some of their names.
Yeah.
But that goes 15 minutes, man. This was not the best start to WrestleMania 36.
Sloppy. Just a sloppy match. It felt like... And I think it was more so on Kairi Sane and Asuka's part. They just didn't look interested, man. I don't know what it is. I know there's rumors of Kairi Sane going back to New Japan. Mm-hmm. She's married to Kenta, who's in New Japan. So maybe to her it was just like, you know what, I'm going to work a safe match and, you know, I'm out of here. But Asuka lately, too, has just, I don't know, man. She just looks so lazy, like she doesn't care anymore. Which is sad because she was the star of NXT.
She was, yeah.
You know, she was amazing. But this gimmick that they've given her, man, I don't know, dude.
To me, what made this very cringeworthy was Asuka and Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is... I don't know anything about her, right? But the 2 times I've seen her, or I'm sorry, 3 times I've seen her. I saw her once at the Royal Rumble, and then I saw the first empty arena Raw with her, or SmackDown. SmackDown, is it? Yeah, the first empty arena SmackDown. And then I see her here. Her character comes off as so fake.
Yeah.
And so, like, cringe-worthy. And then when you take away people, it's even worse because it's like, this is stupid.
Dude, her character in NXT with Sanity was great. People loved her.
Really?
She was just super energetic, running back and forth and just pulling her hair like just a whack job. It was great. And then she came up here and just became like Alexa Bliss's like crony, basically.
It's cringe-worthy,
like,
dude. It's terrible because you look at it and it's like nobody acts like that. It's stupid.
It's fake.
The other person is Asuka to me. She still is. She's one of the only people that I've seen here acting as if there's a crowd. She looks out and she's like doing weird shit, and it seems like this is a joke to you.
Yeah.
That's what it comes off as, like, oh, this is a joke.
Yeah, she's laughing and dancing and like, I don't know, man.
And that's not who I remember.
No, she was a killer. She was a killer in NXT, man. And when she first came up, but you know, Vince just, I don't think he likes the foreign, you know, wrestlers, man.
He doesn't. But what does that have to do with backstage?
I don't know.
What she does out there, and I've always said this, what you do out there is up to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, as a performer, it's up to you because I know that's true. If they told me, they would always tell me, "Oh, I want you to do this." I say, "Okay, sure." And then when I go out there, I do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
I'll suffer the consequences later on. But if it works, you're not going to bitch about it, right?
Right.
It's weird to me that Asuka it doesn't feel like she's trying to do her best.
Right.
It feels like this is lighthearted. It's a joke to her. She doesn't care. So, anyways, the match itself is not good.
No, look how it starts. Kairi Sane just starts pushing Alexa Bliss, and it's just real weird.
Yeah, there's no momentum there. But here's the thing. As a performer, again, it is very hard to build momentum when there's nobody there because wrestling is such a, it's so driven by the reaction, as any live performance is. It's really tough to do this without anybody. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross go over. Next up, we've got Elias and King Corbin in a singles match.
Not a great way to start the pay-per-view.
No, so this is what caused concern. Definitely the second night was better than the first, but, again, Elias and King Corbin going 9 minutes. First of all, they seem very thrown together.
They're like two heels. They're two heels, right?
No, Elias has actually been a babyface lately.
Right, but he's a better heel. Like, everybody knows him. Yeah, and it doesn't work, man.
But here's the thing again. Elias is a live performer. Right. His gimmick goes over well if there's a crowd. If there's no crowd, you just look at it and say, what a loser. What's he doing?
What's he doing, right? Who's he playing to?
Yeah, who's he playing to? This is ridiculous. Corbin is another guy who was looking around a lot, I noticed. And I'm like, what? There's nobody there. You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And this will get better. As the night goes on,
oh, yeah.
the bigger and more seasoned the performers, the less they looked around and they looked at their opponent, made it very serious, made you engaged.
Yeah.
Because you felt like there was tension there. Corbin, for all of the praising that people do for him, is, oh, he's such a great heel. He really pisses you off. He's not good.
Okay.
He's not good. In this match, do you remember anything that stood out to you between these two?
Nothing.
There you go.
Absolutely nothing. It's another Baron Corbin match, and I don't think these guys got chemistry, man. I don't think it was the right two matches to start the card with, especially if, like I said, you got people that are first time viewers.
Right.
You wanna start off with, hell, I would have started off with the Morrison and Uso Kingston match.
Yeah,
that was a badass match.
Well, we're not there yet.
But
we're not there yet.
Spoiler, badass match. But still, that's how I would have started the pay-per-view. Not with
right.
these guys.
Well, in this Elias defeats King Corbin, honestly, we just weren't impressed. We weren't engaged.
No.
So we're just going to move past it. And we've got the Raw Women's Championship with Shayna Baszler, who everybody was pulling for, as far as I know, against Becky Lynch, who was held at a full year at this point. This match was 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and basically the entire matchup, Shayna was kicking Becky's ass. I thought if this would have taken place in front of people, in my mind, I thought Ronda was going to come in and help Shayna beat Becky.
That would have been awesome.
Because it's been a full year, right, since she's been gone. So I'm like, okay, her last match was at WrestleMania, and she returns at WrestleMania. If not Mania, then the next night on Raw. We got none of that.
Yeah. I know, people they love Becky Lynch's character and stuff, but I'm kind of sick of it, man. I think you need to change. Shayna, this was the time to have Shayna win the belt. She just dominated the Elimination Chamber. She killed everyone. And then you come and have her lose to Becky? Come on, bro. I mean, now who's Becky going to fight? She's beating everyone. Where's the story going to go from now? I don't know, man.
Well, you mentioned to me that now she was going to use that and say, I've beaten everybody. Who's left? Unless it is Ronda.
If Ronda comes back,
unless it is Ronda.
That would be great.
That really would. What did you think of Becky's...
Her truck?
The truck entrance.
She's trying so hard to be Stone Cold. She's trying so damn hard to be Stone Cold.
It doesn't work.
Come on, dude.
And I didn't care for the rub either that I saw him give her.
Yeah.
At that Raw.
When she took the stunner? Or you mean on the show? Or I get you. Yeah,
on Raw, yeah. The rub that he gave her?
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, she's cool. I just think that they've shoved her down our throat way too much.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Shayna Baszler,
Just
but as I watched the match, I thought, I was like, okay, Shayna should definitely, she's dominating her. She should win.
Yeah.
With, Becky saying, just from a logic point of view, with Becky saying that she's the man, which I hate that, the way she won, the Bret Hart, Roddy Piper way.
Yeah.
It didn't make her seem like anything legit. It made her seem lucky.
Lucky, yeah.
You know what I mean? And if she's lucky to beat Shayna, and then they give the title to Shayna later on, this was the platform to give it to her. There was no need to extend that. You know what I mean? Because
Becky's already a star, man. Like, why do you... If you want to make new stars, you got to have them put these women over. These other,
right.
Over.
So, let me ask you a question. Is Backlash still a thing, or is it Money in the Bank as we saw?
I don't think they do Backlash anymore.
That's gone?
I thought they retired it.
Okay. That I don't know. But I saw advertisements for Money in the Bank. So, if that's the next pay-per-view, and let's say they give the title to Shayna at that pay-per-view, that's a waste. It should have been done here, because nobody replays, these April, May, June pay-per-view matches. They replay WrestleMania. That's what lives on.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, Becky is not a sympathetic babyface that you want to pull for her when she's getting her ass kicked. She's a very egotistical babyface.
Right.
So to me, it was all wrong. It was all wrong. But yeah, Becky retains. And then we've got Daniel Bryan taking on Sami Zayn in an Intercontinental Championship match. How the hell did this guy win the title?
Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
He won it, I want to say it was against Braun Strowman in like a 3-on-1 handicap match, I think, something like that. And
was Braun the champion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he beat him. On paper, it's a great match because these two guys can work. But just the way that it played out, I feel like it didn't do both those wrestlers justice. I think if they would have had a real good, like, actual wrestling match, like a NXT style wrestling match. This WWE style is really pissing me off, dude.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just so slow, so bad, so I don't know, so scripted. Everything is like, oh, let me just get my moves in, and I don't know, man. They gotta change some shit.
Who is the lackey with
Drew Gulak?
I don't know who that is.
He's an indie guy, NXT guy. He's a good wrestler.
Okay.
He's a really good actual wrestler.
Like revival type wrestler?
Like a technical type wrestler. Like different holds and different, just a really good technical
So
wrestler.
similar to Brian was when he was on the indie scene.
Yeah. Very similar. They actually had a match that was really, really good.
Okay.
So, yeah, exactly.
You would think... So by what you're saying to me, because I don't know anything about this, Sammy, I thought he was doing the Heenan family gimmick. Right? Where he was managing people. So, again, is his aspirations, is he injured? That's why he was doing that angle?
No.
Is he still injured? What's the point of giving the title to him and not to Shinsuke or Cesaro? That's who he's with, right?
Yeah.
Why not give the title to one of those guys who are actively working?
Because he's the mouthpiece. So you want to give the guy that can talk the belt, I guess, which is weird, but
that's odd.
What's also weird is he's fucking dressed like Fidel Castro. Did you notice that?
No.
He's got the hat, and he calls himself the Great Liberator. You think that's smart?
It's not marketable.
That's not good, dude. You're dressed like Fidel Castro. You call yourself that? Come on, man.
I don't know. A lot of the things they say, a lot of the the gimmicks and the nicknames they give these guys are terrible.
Terrible, bro. It's like
and they're overcomplicated too.
But these guys didn't come up with that. Like Shinsuke the Artist.
No.
What a shitty name, dude.
Sami Zayn retains, by the way, in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Again, we've had 4 matches up to this point, plus 1 pre-show match, and WrestleMania 36 is not looking good by this point. But then there's a triple threat ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. How did we get to just having 3 guys representing the teams? This is very WCW.
I think what happened was The Miz got sick, if I'm not mistaken, and they sent him home. So I don't know if one of the Usos or somebody else got injured.
Right, but we've got Kofi Kingston representing the New Day, Jimmy Uso representing Usos, and John Morrison representing Miz and Morrison. What do you think about WWE pairing them back up when Morrison came in?
Phenomenal.
I don't think so.
What?
I don't think so. I think they're terrible together. But I will say, I think this worked out in Morrison's favor because he shined. He shined. First of all, Morrison has broken apart from that. That's what angers me about them pairing them up together. Like, Morrison has grown as a performer outside of WWE. He comes back and WWE makes him exactly like as always, right? Kevin Nash is not Nash, he's Diesel. Mm-hmm. And Scott Hall is Razor Ramon. Again, they make him what he was when he was there.
The shaman of sexy, right?
Yeah, that bullshit. They're like, no, he's better than that now. And he's better than Miz ever could be.
I agree.
Outside of the mic, right? Miz has always been a talker. But, yeah, this match goes 18 minutes and 30 seconds. There are so many amazing spots from Kofi and Morrison.
Their chemistry's great.
It's awesome. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a singles match.
I want to see it. I would love to see that, dude. I would love to see that. That's some great athleticism right there, man.
Yeah, and Kofi is phenomenal, man.
Love Kofi, man.
He's so good.
It's so sad that his title run was so short, but no, this match was phenomenal. These guys were on point.
Right.
They were on point. Look at that.
I wasn't into it at first because it was such, typical, pre-planning that they did.
Yeah.
So as a performer, for me, I know fans watching and say, oh my God, look at how cool that is. But for me, I know they talked about it a lot and they rehearsed it a lot, which bothers me. But once they started involving the ladders, it got better. It got smoother.
Yeah,
and they involved the ladders within, 45 seconds?
Right away. I think this should have been the match to start the pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Because if you got, like I said, it's all about, you got to think of the times, man. People that don't normally watch wrestling are going to watch this. I have some friends comment, actually, on Facebook, and they were saying, man, I actually watched the WrestleMania, and I never watched wrestling, you know. But if his first, you know, impression of wrestling are those first 3-4 matches we had, it's not good, man. It's not good. It wasn't entertaining. You have something like this start the show, yes. Then sprinkle in the women's tag team match or, you know, Sami Zayn. But you have to mix it up. You know, I felt like it was very bottom heavy as far as like the main matches were at the end.
Absolutely.
But you gotta have, like we have this match. We have next week there's Rollins and Owens, Braun, and then you got Taker. I feel like this could have been first. In the middle, you could have thrown Owens and Rollins. And then, the last two, the main event and co-main event, it could have been Taker.
It was really interesting. To me, it was really interesting because I feel like if there was people there, they would have done it the way you said it.
Yeah.
But for the first time, it felt like the least important matches really did come first, and then it started to grow as more important matches. The other person we're not really talking about in here is Jimmy Uso. I thought he did fine.
Yeah.
But to me, he's nowhere near the level of either Kofi or Morrison.
He's not a singles wrestler.
Absolutely not.
It's a different... I mean, what would you say? Obviously, you're coming from the world of wrestling. If they put you in a tag team, would it be the same style? Like, it's different, right?
No, it's really different.
Yeah.
I've been in tag team matches, and I was like, man, this is tough to get the mechanics of this down because I'm used to relying on my own.
The pacing and everything is all different. Your timing, right? Exactly.
Yeah, and then but there's also the sense of Morrison doesn't do a lot of talking. He's obviously more fluid movement and all that, but he knows his spots.
Yeah.
He knows what to do. Kofi is another guy who knows what to do, knows his spots. I almost felt like Jimmy... It was almost at times as if Jimmy was looking for his brother somewhere. It almost looked like he was still depending on somebody else to be around him to take the heat and take the match. And it was like...
Muscle memory, man.
Yeah, it was weird to see him in certain things, but the other two... I would have been just as happy if it was just between those two without Jimmy.
I agree, but it worked. It worked for the most
part.
Because
if you think about it too, he talked the most shit.
Yeah.
Because everything is audible here, unless they edit it out. And Morrison doesn't say a damn thing. Kofi was, he's always been just a slight talker, but Jimmy would not shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like he continued to talk shit to both guys, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Just wrestle. Let your moves do the talking right now. We don't need your commentary. Mm-hmm. He was adding in a lot of dumb shit. So, anyways, it was a great match. First standout match of the night. I thought it was going to be the show stealer, and it was until the main event.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Morrison, in a really cool way, retains the titles.
It was great. I want to see it again, but I would say a Kofi and Morrison ladder match would be
for
great.
sure, man. Next up, there's a small, typical WWE moment with R-Truth. Mojo Rawley defeats him in 20 seconds. Doesn't even matter. Anyways, we'll move past that to the first real feud match, story-driven match, which is Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. It's a no DQ match. What were your thoughts on this?
I liked it. I thought it was a really, really good match. I think that Kevin Owens really, really, really stole the show. I thought he was better than Rollins in this match. He showed a lot of emotion. Yeah, Kevin Owens, one of the best spots you'll see, man. He jumped off the WrestleMania sign, hits Rollins with a big elbow. Man, it was crazy. Just no fear. Oh my God.
I didn't like it.
That was vicious.
I'm on the complete opposite end of you on this.
Why? So tell me why.
For me, for one, I don't like Owens.
Okay.
I don't like Owens Steen in real life, and I don't like him on the screen. I do have a past with him slightly, so without going into that stuff, but just as a match itself, I thought Seth did better than normal.
Okay.
I thought he did step up his performance game here. My issue with Owens in this match is that he never sold what he should have sold. Let's say that big spot that you talked about. First of all, it was only done because he's a mark for himself. He's a mark for fucking wrestling. And what bothers me about it is I know that the only reason he did it is because he wanted a WrestleMania moment. There wasn't much in the match that made you say there's a reason for him doing this.
Okay.
There was no reason for him doing it. You know why? Because he picked up Seth. Look, we're less than 45 seconds from that spot, and they're back in the ring. If there was a story-driven moment for that, then I would have understood it and appreciated it. It just felt like he wanted a big spot.
Yeah.
And that bothers me. The other thing is, there was so much done to him that he should have been selling his back. There should have been moments where he picked up Rollins and dropped him and sold. There should have been moments where he got up and couldn't get up. There's and I mentioned this to you before we even turned it on, when we watched night 2 actually. It bothered me that the spot where he was doing the Seth Rollins was doing the dives to the outside. You have a 10 count. Why not utilize that to show the damage that Seth is doing to you? He was up by count 3, and there goes another, dive. Again, he's up by count 4, and there goes another dive. And again, he's up by count 4. I was like, come on,
doing
dude.
babyface moves.
Yeah, like first of all, to me, Seth is terrible at being a heel in the ring.
In the ring, because
on promo, he's good. In the ring, he still wrestles like a baby, which is stupid. But again, if we're doing this and he's taunting you, there should be waiting. There should be you giving, the fans at home, because there's nobody in the arena, hoping that you get up, and don't take that. But he was up by 3 and 4. It's just, he's not good.
You know what's a really good heel high-risk maneuver? The Macho Man. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the double axe handle from the top rope to the outside?
That's a bad guy move.
That's a bad guy move.
That's what you need to do.
That's when you go up to the top. And then any other time he went up to the top in the ring, if he didn't hit his finisher, was actually so that you could hit him.
Right.
You would always get him in the stomach if he was going to go for that double axe handle. So it was an opportunity for the babyface to hit you.
Right.
Seth still does all of his babyface
same
stuff.
moves, same, yeah.
And
same moves.
and he still hits it. That's the problem.
Dude, a frog splash, that's
babyface.
That's a babyface.
Unless it's your finisher, and it's not his finisher.
It's not his finisher. That's anything high flying like that. That's a good guy thing.
My other issue with Owens is that stunner.
Why? I love it.
Why is it?
He can't do the package power driver like he used to do in the Indies.
What gives him the right to do the stunner?
Well, I guess Stone
Cold. And do you buy it?
Stone Cold gave him the
when
stunner.
when he does the stunner, do you buy it?
No, it's not like Stone Cold, but it's okay. I mean, it is what it is.
That's no different than who was doing it as well. Was it
your boy
Cena?
Glenn Gilberti?
No. I mean, that was terrible too.
Yeah.
When wasn't Cena like popping off the rope and going backwards and hitting it?
Oh no!
Who was doing it?
Was he?
Somebody would pop off the rope and do a terrible version of the stunner.
I think you're right.
It might have been Cena, right? He was doing it for a small while where he worked on it on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when I see Owens do it, I don't buy that it's a finisher. For him. It's like, again, it comes off as a mark moment. Like, yeah, anyways.
Okay.
Owens goes over, yeah. In 17 minutes and 20 seconds, there's some personal shit there.
We got a Thorn promo here.
Yeah, there's some personal stuff there. But then we get the no explanation change, as we spoke about earlier, with Braun Strowman taking the place of Roman Reigns against Goldberg.
Shocked.
I'm
shocked.
I don't like the move they did with this.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he won the title. But I understand it. I understand why they did it. I think Goldberg was paid for this match, and that's it. I mean, the more you have that title on him, he's going to want more money. And he's expensive, man. They've said it. They got to pay him a lot of money. Braun's already under contract.
So let me ask you a question, because I'm not in on that part. I don't know about that part. My emotional attachment to Goldberg is obviously he's the last from WCW who can still go and do something.
Sure.
So that's my childhood. When I see Goldberg, I'm like, man, there goes my last real childhood from WCW. Where have you read that Goldberg is expensive? And, like, what is it? The dirt sheets, or is it coming directly from somebody?
Yeah, it was an article. I think it was on the dirt sheets or something like that. I read that, his matches are very, expensive, obviously, when they give him that money. I mean, obviously, if you're coming back, like, say, the Saudi events, you know how much money they must have paid this guy?
Right.
Coming back for this. You know how much money they would have paid him to get away from his family, to train, to do all that stuff? I mean, come on, dude.
It's unfortunate to me that the impression given to fans of today about Goldberg is he's a terrible wrestler and he only has 2 moves. This is not Goldberg's choice. And it sucks because I'm not sure if Goldberg's being a company man, which I'm sure he is because he's like on this humble road to redemption because of that Undertaker match. But literally, if you listen to the show, I'm telling you right now because I know people who are in WWE right now. I've got texts from people who work there that will literally tell you their matches have been laid out for them. And I believe that every time we see Goldberg now, that is what they're telling him to do.
Do you want Goldberg? Okay, when you watch Goldberg, what do you want to see?
I want to see some clotheslines. I want to see a punch. I want to see a simple body slam.
Do you want to see a drop toe hold? Do you want to see a arm drag with Goldberg?
No, but
exactly.
But hold on though. I remember this beast.
Yeah.
Okay, and I get it. But here's the thing: they're giving you this impression of Goldberg today. That when you thought about Goldberg before, yes, you thought about the entrance, you thought about the spear and the jackhammer, and that's what they're giving you, right? This is what you remember. This is what he is. But he was more than that, and especially when you give Goldberg the title. It's important for you to make sure that he does more than that because now he's a champion.
Right.
The one night return is great. Yeah, that's what I remember Goldberg for. Hell yeah. Second match. Oh, yeah. Third match. Is he going to do anything else? And that's where we're at. Yeah. Is that where you're wishing and hoping. We're not in the first, second match anymore. We're in the 6th, 7th, 8th match. Where literally this man has not done anything but a spear and a jackhammer. It makes, to me, it almost makes the heavyweight title look like a joke when they have these matches where there's 4 moves in 6 minutes. Jackhammer, spear, suplex, and the F5. And in this case, I think we had 2 moves, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it only the spear and the, what is it, what was it, the slam?
Yeah, the power slam.
The power slam? Come on.
Pretty much. This match is so lazy.
It's very lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're oversimplifying what Goldberg can do. And I'm not saying, again, everybody has this view of like, well, he's terrible. What else can he do? He can do a clothesline. Yeah. He can do a punch. He can even grab a rest hold if he needed to.
Remember that judo toss he used to use?
Yes.
That was a badass move too. He used to do a knee bar. Remember, he had a knee bar he used to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of things he can do. And
at this point, I get that Goldberg is no longer a wrestler. He's an attraction. Right. He's like Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant, or he's somebody you only use in special occasions. But when you put that championship on this guy, you need to allow him to do something more to fill up 5-6 minutes. And only letting him do a spear and a jackhammer, which he barely can do the jackhammer well, unless the guy is extremely light, I think is a mistake.
Yep, I agree.
And it's given so many people in this generation this view on him that he's old and he can't do anything.
Is it me or Braun's attire just looks shitty?
It does, yeah.
He doesn't look like a champion. Like he's a big dude, but
it's a t-shirt. What happened? That looks. This is WrestleMania. I get it. It's not in front of the crowd and 70,000 people.
Camouflage.
It's a t-shirt and some pants. But we got a new champion in Braun Strowman, and then we have the show stealer, the true show stealer of the night. Oh. The Undertaker taking on AJ Styles in the Boneyard match, which is effectively, it's a buried alive match outside instead of in the stadium. Man.
Come on, man. Dude.
Perfection.
This brought a tear to my glass eye, dude. I swear to you. It was amazing. It was everything that I wanted this whole show to be like.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Everything. And the great thing about it, right? So there's a report that Undertaker felt really shitty about the last time people saw him, which was against Goldberg. And he wanted to right that wrong. And he called Kurt Angle. And first thing Kurt Angle told him, work with AJ Styles. He said, you want to have the best match that you've had in years, work with AJ Styles. Okay. And that's exactly what they did. And you saw Undertaker, and this was one of the best matches he's had in years. It's the truth. Mm-hmm. This is one of the best matches he's had in years. But you saw Undertaker. You didn't see him like you do when he's in the ring and he's barely, able to walk and he just looks like an old man. You got a badass here. Mm-hmm. Literally. You got the American badass.
He's in good shape here, too.
A superhero. Yeah, absolutely. You got a superhero. It worked, I mean, amazing. Even people that are not wrestling fans, even people that, have never seen anything to deal with WWE, whatever. If you watch this on its own, you're like, holy crap, this is so entertaining. It's so badass. It's a movie. You saw a movie in wrestling, in the wrestling world, wrestling universe. And I gave it a standing ovation. I'm Mark. I don't care. I love it.
No, this was the first time I put down my phone for the whole event. And I was just like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then once they got into it, about a minute into it, I was just glued to the screen like, this is sweet.
When they began, who'd you think? That was Undertaker?
Yeah, I thought that was the Undertaker's
He fooled everyone. I'm like, oh, the Druids. I'm like, oh, okay. It was perfect.
Yeah.
The way that they filmed it, I mean, I can't say enough about this.
Now, let me ask you a question. Would this have been filmed this same way if it was being held at the stadium? No,
this wouldn't have happened if it was in a stadium.
This would have been in the stadium.
This would have been in the stadium, and the match would have been shitty.
We would have saw the Undertaker's flaws.
Big time.
So, a couple notes about this match. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, you saw WrestleMania 36. If you're a WWE Network subscriber, go back and watch it again. It is that good. This is going to be one of the matches that is replayed over and over again every year in packages. Not only for The Undertaker, but for WrestleMania recaps.
They showed it on Raw for free.
What? Really?
Yes. This was the match they showed for free on Raw.
Wow.
Because it was that good. People loved it. I mean, Twitter was going crazy. All the wrestlers, all the fans. Your boy Matt Hardy was taking credit and saying, I want to, pat myself on the back. And
please don't call him my boy.
Thorne had the version 1 Mattitude shirt. No. But it was amazing, man. When the Undertaker came in on the motorcycle, they played. I want to say it was Metallica, right?
Yes.
It worked perfect. They didn't play it again on Monday though.
I read a tweet about that.
Yeah, but I think they probably just because they had the rights for it for that one night, and they probably paid for it. But it just worked, man. Undertaker looked like a fucking superhero, dude.
So I'm very glad he had like very weathered gear on. It looks like what the American Badass should be wearing.
I agree.
As opposed to before, he kind of looked almost like Braun Strowman, just wearing lazy pants and a t-shirt when he was Big Evil and all this stuff. But this look for Taker is perfect.
Perfect. It looks it's a combination of his normal Undertaker gear that he used to wear and a biker. So it's like an amalgamation of both of them together.
Right, and in real life he is a biker. So
yeah.
The American Badass is really just an extension of who he is. By the way, I just wanted to mention in the package, because I don't watch this stuff on a regular basis, I loved AJ Styles' promos. I love the whole thing about I want The Undertaker. I don't want Mark Calloway who's been posting selfies.
Yeah.
I love all the personal talk about your wife. Did she let you out? Those are things that would really get to a man. You know this.
Absolutely.
That would really ring a bell for any man and say, I don't need my wife to tell me anything. I'm going to kick your ass.
This wouldn't have worked if it was regular Undertaker.
Oh, no. I even dread thinking about it. Even if it was this type of film, I dread even thinking about how slow it would have been.
Yeah.
If it would have been just regular Undertaker.
And the way he talked too, talking through the whole match, like you wanted this.
Yep.
Remember, you wanted this.
Yeah.
So it was
And it gave me hope for Sting versus Undertaker, because if they do Sting versus Undertaker ever, right? I don't want to see it in the ring. I don't want to see it live in front of people because we know that'll be a train wreck. They do it this way, it'll work.
I would rather see Sting versus Bray Wyatt in something like this.
Even that.
I wouldn't want to see Sting and Taker because you got two baby faces. It wouldn't work the same.
Even that'll work.
But I think if moving forward you want Undertaker to be part of WrestleMania, this is the way to do it.
Every year. And it'll work because it's like this is like he's an actor in a movie. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they didn't just film this all at once. Like, it could have been like where they cut and took some breaks. I can believe that. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but as far as all the action, AJ got some shine where you thought, man, maybe he's going to pull this off. But then, man, just that ending, dude. Whew.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was so proud of AJ. There was a moment when they were on top of the building, or whatever that was, compound, whatever, that I looked at the interaction between Undertaker and AJ and I said, man, you've made it, brother.
He made it, dude. And it doesn't hurt him. This helps AJ
this
Styles.
helps.
People are like, oh, he lost. Dude. Like, no, man.
This helps him so much.
Dude, he's the main event at WrestleMania. Because this was the main event. This was the main event of night one. But it's the main event to me of both nights.
If I had to pick one match out of both nights, which we're going into night 2 right after this is it.
This is it, man. Even there's a spot to Anderson and Gallows get involved, and there's a bunch of druids that come out. And Undertaker's like, all right, let's go. And boom, he's just taking them out one by one. It just, man, I was on my feet. I was so
As you can
happy.
tell, we have nothing but good things to say about this match. And it was something to see. At 19 minutes, The Undertaker goes over in spectacular fashion. You owe it to yourself to watch this match not only once, not only twice, but many times. And night 2 begins with the NXT Women's Championship being defended by Rhea Ripley with Charlotte Flair. This match actually goes 20 minutes and 30 seconds. But here's the deal. Me and Danny watched this night together. It did not feel like 20 minutes.
No, they had chemistry.
Yes.
They worked their ass off. It was a great match. It was a great story. I love the way that Charlotte worked that match because she really worked the leg to lead up to, what her finish is. I love when wrestlers do that.
You see how what I'm saying to you though? It's selling. It's logic. It has to make sense.
And this is the way. Night 2 starts way better than night 1. This is the way to start a WrestleMania. This match was great. It had you captivated. I mean, a lot of false finishes. A lot of times where you're like, you just didn't know who was going to win. They have phenomenal chemistry. Turns out the big reason that Rhea Ripley actually loses this match is because her visa got expired. So she has to head back to Australia, and they don't know when she's gonna get her.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I had no idea.
So because I mean, she's a huge star in NXT. Okay. She's the next Becky. Think of her as a Becky Lynch of NXT, where she's gonna be that person they're gonna strap that rocket to and let's go. But apparently that's a major reason why they took the strap off her.
Wow, I had no idea. So does this mean for Charlotte that she's going to be on NXT only, or is she bringing that title over to Raw or SmackDown, wherever she is laid?
I would love to see her in NXT.
Okay.
I would love to see her in NXT.
That's a good spot for her, because she'll give credibility for Wednesday nights, right?
Yeah, they don't have a lot of stars. That's the thing with NXT, and that's why I think that you got to have some stars from the main roster go down there and maybe work with these younger people, because like for the average fan that watches NXT, let's just say the average Joe's like, oh, it's a wrestling show on. They're not going to know who any of those guys are.
Yeah, and that's really tough, because if you're passing by your channels on a Wednesday night, you're not a wrestling fan, and you pass by NXT and see nobody and say, oh, it's wrestling. Well, it looks cool, whatever. And you keep going, and then you hit AEW and see Jericho and some of the other stars they have there. Maybe you're lucky enough to see Jake the Snake on the screen or somebody like that. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And I think that's something they're going to have to work on, man. You're going to have to send some of your big stars down there. Or even, send the guys you're not using, dude. Send Ricochet down there, Apollo Crews. Send Cedric Alexander on there. Send people that are not doing jack on the main roster. Send them to NXT. Have them wrestle with these guys.
From there, we move on to Aleister Black taking on Bobby Lashley.
How do you feel about Aleister Black?
I don't see anything in the guy.
Okay.
I don't see anything. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to work, because there's actually people I do feel that way about.
Okay.
But no, I just don't see any push within this guy. I don't see every so the way I judge guys is, can I see myself cheering for this person in a main event? Cheering or booing, doing a good job. You know what? Can I see myself emotionally invested to this person? I don't.
Well, it's weird because he's a face, but he has like a dark satanic, gimmick to him. Like, why the hell would you want to cheer for a guy that?
Well, similar to Seth Rollins, where he's a heel and he does all this babyface stuff. I don't get this guy. If you're saying he's a babyface, which I didn't know, and now it makes sense because Lashley's a heel, right? I don't get that this guy is a babyface. He's dark and evil and twisted, and yet he's doing all these flying moves. If you're dark and twisted, I should not be impressed by you. I should be scared of you, and nothing about this guy makes me scared at all.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Oh, well, he's skilled. I've seen him doing clips of him doing like Muay Thai kicks and martial art kicks with his wife. I don't give a shit how skilled you are. Make me believe something about you. And right now, I'm getting mixed signals because I don't care. Yeah. At this point, I just don't care. When you see Lashley in this match and you see this guy, you actually start cheering for Lashley because Lashley looks like a star. Monster. He looks like a monster. He looks like, if I thought about what a wrestler would look like, I'm thinking of Lashley.
Yeah, you go to, if there's a factory that makes wrestlers and you want to create the person that's going to look like a star, like a champion,
right?
It's Bobby Lashley.
So in this match of a babyface versus a heel, what is making me pull for this fucker over here?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I wouldn't cheer for him. I mean, he's got heel written all over him. I mean,
and let's say he does go that heel route, right?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he's not going to stop doing all his fancy shit. And then again, so now you're a heel, you're doing fancy stuff. Why should I boo you?
He's got to change. He's got to change his attire too. If you're going to be a bad guy, that's got to change.
Well, he wants to show all his tattoos, don't you see? Right. He wants to show off all his little, passionate tattoos, and this is what this means, and this is what that means. Right. I don't give a fuck. Get off my screen. Anyways, Aleister Black goes over because Bobby Lashley listens to Lana, has him set up for a finish. She calls for the spear, and he gets some Muay Thai kick that we're supposed to be impressed with by him.
Yeah.
Next, Otis takes on Dolph Ziggler.
Otis, my boy.
And this is a love triangle, a WWE love triangle match.
Love it.
This is, according to, and obviously it's fact, but according to Ziggler, this is his first singles match in 14 years.
Yeah.
At a WWE. I didn't know he's been there that long.
At a WrestleMania?
Yeah. I'm sorry, at a Mania.
You got Sonya with him? Isn't that weird? Why is Sonya with him?
Okay. Catch me up to speed.
Yeah.
Because I know Ziggler. I like Ziggler. Obviously, Ziggler is probably what I would be if I was there, honestly. Mm-hmm. Who is Sonya?
She's Mandy's tag team partner. Fire and Desire. That's the name of their tag team.
Okay.
So she, basically the storyline is Mandy and Otis were going to go on a date. And she basically took her phone and, kind of sabotaged it and whatever. And
I saw.
So.
And Otis was part of a tag team, but obviously he is the standout star of that tag team.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's a grudge match because he's in love with Mandy Rose and he feels like stole her from him. But I was really engaged with the story. I wanted to see him get the girl at the end.
Well, the right guy won here.
Yeah.
For sure. You want that happy ending.
Yeah. And
I saw a lot of tweets online saying that this match, as good as it was, would have been even better in front of people because of that happy ending.
They would have gone crazy. Yeah, they would have gone crazy at the end when he picks up Mandy and gives her a kiss. There's a lot of memes on online right now going on with that, and they showed a really funny video where they photoshopped or almost video edited that scene happening in a big stadium.
Oh, did they?
And everybody went crazy when he killed it. Yeah, it was pretty cool the way they did it.
Nice. I will say I do like Otis.
Yeah.
I don't like all the dancing, all the silliness he does, but I like his shape and he looks solid.
Big boy,
you would be scared of facing that guy. Dolph, man, I wish Nick would actually leave. I've been wishing he'd leave since 2013.
He's a victim of being way too good at something, which is selling. That's his problem. He's so damn good at selling that he's putting other people over, and Vince sees him as that only.
Right.
Like, you're in there to make other people look good.
Well, that's fine, but I'm saying he's had the opportunity to get out of his contract, not renew several times, and he hasn't taken it. He's renewed every time for more money, but to continue being this, mid-card guy. I think he should put on some size and head over to AEW.
I don't think they'll use him right either, brother. I think that...
I'm not saying he's going to be main eventing there, but I think he would be looked at in a better position than where he's at now.
Here's what I think about Dolph Ziggler. What I think about Dolph Ziggler is that, while you're right, he would probably do better somewhere else. I don't think his passion is in wrestling anymore. I think his passion is in his comedy act. I think his passion is probably in acting. And where are you going to get more exposure than WWE?
Next, we have one of the main events that has been advertised for all of this, and that's Edge taking on Randy Orton. Last man standing match, a lot of emotion here. And this match goes 36 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean...
I like the way it was filmed. I like the way that... I'm not talking about the camera angles or nothing. I just like the way that they didn't keep it in the ring. Most of the match was all over the building because it's a personal thing. It's not like that Triple H and Orton match where everything was in the ring. If you get disqualified, you lose. This is who gives a shit what happens. It's a grudge match. It's personal. He tried to end his career. He attacked his family. This is the type of match you want to have when that's on the line.
Let me ask you a question. Would you go back and watch this match several times?
Maybe not several times, but I'd give it another look. Just because...
I think you'd need to.
Yeah.
Because on its own, I mean, I tuned out so many times. Most of the matches, Edge on the ground, the groaning.
Edge couldn't go... I don't think Edge... If you would have made this a regular in-ring match, I don't think Edge would have been able to go 36 minutes.
Maybe, maybe not. I did watch the video, or the special they had on Edge and his return afterwards. I was really impressed by him. He took a very logical approach, trained properly.
Yeah.
He did really good. And again, I get what you're saying. It's a street fight match or a last man standing. Everything that took place is exactly the way a last man standing match should go. In my opinion, instead of 36 minutes, it should have been maybe 22.
It's no secret that many students struggle with understanding math. I know I was one, and I was definitely a visual learner that needed something before I could understand. Many of these students give up on understanding math at a young age, excluding themselves from a wide range of opportunities. In an effort to change students' attitudes about learning, Mashup Math was formed by a group of young teachers with a passion for teaching math visually. Mashup Math shares free animated math lessons that explain difficult math concepts in a colorful and easy to follow way. They make lessons for all grade levels, so check out their channel and free video library at youtube.com/mashupmath. Again, that's youtube.com/mashupmath. And be sure to subscribe. They add new lessons every single week. Once again, that's Mashup Math. Learn math visually. And as always, don't forget to let them know Thorn sent ya.
And this is a case where I promise you it was something Edge requested to work with Randy, because when you come back, I think from that big of a layoff, kind of like what Shawn Michaels did with Triple H, you want to work with that guy you trust, the guy that you're going to have chemistry with, that you know whatever ideas you shoot his way, he's not going to tell you, no, we're not going to do it that way. So I think that played a large part in this match being what it was, how good it was.
For sure, man. So Gronk, his whole career lasts a total of 18 seconds, and he beats Mojo Rawley, his friend, with a dive.
So bad.
It's the 24/7 title. It's a waste of time, as the the hardcore title was in WWE. It's a joke. Next up, we've got the Tag Team Raw Championship between the Street Profits and then Angel Garza and Austin Theory.
Who?
I don't know who these guys. I know I've heard Have I heard of Angel Garza?
Look, this is
an NXT guy,
so
right?
You know how there was fake Razor and fake Diesel? This is fake Finn Balor and fake Andrade, dude.
Oh, I thought this was Andrade.
Exactly. That's not him. That's his cousin. I swear to God, I'm not even.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, it's his cousin.
Oh.
It's dude. If you were just to see from a quick glance, you're like, when did Andrade and Finn Balor, get together? What the hell, dude?
Giving these guys a title match at WrestleMania is not good.
The Street Profits. Oh God, don't get me started on them.
I'm sorry. I don't have anything good to say.
Oh my God, dude.
Especially the skinnier guy. I have nothing to say because it will not come out good if I say anything.
He is so annoying. I'm on Raw Monday. This guy was grabbing the camera and yelling into the camera. He did it like 3 times, dude. He did it like 3 times. He's so annoying. Athletically, don't get me wrong, unbelievable. But as far as this guy, oh my God. Look, he just kept doing that. He kept grabbing the camera and just, shaking it and screaming. But these guys don't do it for me. Then they got this gimmick, you know what I mean? This crime time type gimmick, this, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Come on, dude.
One of the things that slightly intrigues me about WWE now, I don't watch this product often anymore, and my love for wrestling left in like 2004. But I've noticed that Vince McMahon tends to let certain people do whatever they want, and I don't get it because he was never like that before. No. He would be a super control freak and direct everything somebody did sometimes, and it amazes me to see guys like this dude from Street Profits. Is that right? That's the name? Yeah. Street Profits being allowed to be the absolute annoying ass that he is. And he's played off to be a baby face. Yeah. I'm just not understanding it, man.
He's got, what is it called? X-Pac heat?
Holy shit, dude. I mean, this guy reminds me of like the hyenas in high school who you wish, when they did dumb shit that somebody would really come along and take care of them. I just don't get it.
He's very annoying.
Yeah, and then the 2 other guys, I thought that was the NXT guy who was with Zelina. I didn't know it was his cousin or somebody else.
Andrade, yeah. I'm telling you, Austin Theory and this other Angel Garza, literally, I mean, just look at them. If you just took a quick glance, you're like, wait, is that Finn Balor and Andrade? They look exactly the same, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Street Profits retain in 6 minutes and 20 seconds, and there's an afterwards thing where Zelina gets the best of them, and his wife comes out.
That's my girl.
What's her name?
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair, who I absolutely adore. Woo! Especially after her performance in the Royal Rumble.
She is badass, my friend.
Yeah.
She's a powerhouse, too. Wow.
Yeah, she's
champion,
awesome.
Future champion.
If I could say anything, she can do better.
I'm just sad that they put her with these 2 idiots, man. I'm just
you can
really
do better.
sad.
You can do better. Let's just put it that way. You can do better. We've got a 5-way elimination match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It goes 19 minutes and 20 seconds. I did not realize it was an elimination match until the second elimination. I said, holy shit, This thing is going long. Yeah. We've got Naomi, my girl, Sasha Banks, who actually does really well. I forgot even what her style was in the ring before this. You got Tamina, who I don't understand why she's there. Lacey Evans, who's pretty good. I don't have much of an impression of her. And then you got Bayley, who's the ultimate, suburban girl or something. I don't know.
Soccer mom.
Yeah, she just looks like she's going to complain to a manager very soon.
The haircut.
Yeah. It goes 19 minutes. There's nothing that stands out to me, but I do like that they carry on the story between Bayley and Sasha because you know that it's going to be a title match between them two soon.
That's what I want to watch. I think, if this would have been Bayley versus Sasha, I think it would have been a way better match.
Yeah.
Naomi, man, she's
another Dolph Ziggler.
She's another Dolph Ziggler.
She's so good that they just use her to put people over.
She is. I'm really sad about that. Sasha Banks is obviously, she's a great wrestler. Lacey, she's getting there. She was great as a heel, though. I don't know how I feel about her as a face.
I don't know nothing about her, man. She just looks like another she looks like another WWE girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing stands out. She's just another blonde there.
Yeah.
And then just to comment on it, Tamina. I'm sure this girl is just getting off by her name.
Dude, I thought
and
that
her association.
Yeah.
You know,
she got big.
She gained a lot of weight, but also beyond that, she's terrible in the ring.
Well, I would love to see her just in a Nia Jax together as a tag team or something. That's more believable. They're two big girls.
Yeah, but I just can't underestimate to you how bad this girl is.
Yeah.
You know, I love her look. She's got a very threatening look. If you looked across at her, you know, man or female, doesn't matter. If you have a good look, you have a good look. And she's got this look where I don't want to mess with this girl. But it falls apart the moment the bell rings. You know, it's kind of like what they used to say about Ultimate Warrior. And then the bell had to ring. This is not good. And it shows that she's not good. And then there's no personality there to overcome that.
How would you book her?
I send her back to fucking school.
So what don't you like about her?
She's very limited in her movements. You can tell this.
Okay.
She stutter steps a lot. She shorthands things. Her punches or slaps, whatever the fuck she does, they're off. She needs to go back to school. I feel like she was rushed through the system because she is Jimmy Snuka's daughter, and they gave her that, you know, oh, of course, your family, come over. She needs to go back. I'm not saying she has to be a great wrestler by any means, but the things that she does has to look crisp.
What style would you give her then? If you're just gonna coach her, like give her a 5-minute course, how would you coach her to be? What type?
Don't leave your feet.
So just like so, let's give a comparison. What wrestler would you compare it to? You'd be like, okay, this will work for her. This style of wrestling.
Kali.
No. Oh, come on.
No.
That's your style.
Man, I'd book her like Rikishi when he was solo. Take away the stupid, you know, the stupid gimmick about the butt and all that stuff. I'd book her like Rikishi, somebody who's able, but you know, she's imposing still.
Okay.
But the story plays out, and Sasha eventually, even though there's heat between her and Bayley, she comes back and helps her friend win and retain. And then we've got what was talked about.
My second favorite match.
The Firefly Fun House Match between Bray Wyatt / The Fiend and John Cena. Now, you told me before that this is going to be filmed, and I was like, yeah, for sure. And when I saw Cena coming out, it was live, right? I said, man, what a missed opportunity. But I spoke too soon, man, because it went straight into literally, what the fuck is this type of thing? And it was great.
It was so good. It was so good. The funny thing is, look how many minutes it went. You don't think that was on purpose? 13 minutes?
Why?
Number 13.
Okay.
What's the number 13 associated usually with?
I don't know.
Like evil and stuff
really?
like that? Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, if they thought that much about it, I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, Bray Wyatt has such a good mind for this stuff. You know, but how much did we pop with seeing Cena come out in NWO gear?
Well, not only the NWO gear, but I love the Saturday night's main event and
everything.
The dig, you know, you don't have to have talent, just have to have muscles and all that stuff. I thought that was cool. Everything about this was cool.
It was phenomenal.
I got to tell you something though. A couple of weeks ago, you added me on Facebook to this NWO group.
Right.
I had to get out of that group today.
Okay.
Because I could not handle the reaction to John Cena wearing this NWO stuff, which was great. It was so cool. It was awesome. What a moment in time. And what an affirmation also to Eric Bischoff to show him what he did in this business mattered. Because they're still talking about it, right? Over 20 years later. Ah, man. I mean, the internet really did blow up about this match.
There's memes everywhere. They got Cena on
It's completely split. There's people who love it, and there's people who thought it was just a piece of trash.
Right.
And the end of the business. I thought it was great.
I gotta hear Jim Cornette's thoughts about this. I'm licking my chops waiting to hear what he's got to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was great. It was super entertaining. You got both guys over big time here. It was almost like they teased the Cena heel turn. And do you see how much people would love to see that, bro. A heel Cena.
Mm-hmm.
They would go crazy, bro.
Now, remember what you said in predictions last week. You thought Cena was going over.
I did. Well, he kind of did go over because people are talking about Cena. They're not talking about Bray Wyatt.
Right.
Right or wrong?
I mean, I guess he's more over now.
He is.
But Bray Wyatt wins, if you can imagine that. There's no actual pin. There's just the disappearance of John Cena.
Yeah.
And it's implied.
Which you can't see him anyway, so.
Blah, blah.
But no, I think this was a phenomenal match. I think it was a phenomenal idea. With the way that, the Bray Wyatt character is, the way the Firefly Fun House, gimmick is just crazy. And shout out to Cena, man. Props to him for how good he did.
You know what was great about it is that I don't know what backstage influence he had when he was on top, and people saying that he was politicking all the time. To me, from what I know, because he came after, like his rise to the top completely came when I stopped watching. But he seems to have always wanted what's best for business type thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes that meant keeping him on top. But for him to give this much to Wyatt means, as opposed to 6 years ago, right? That's when they last faced. That he believes in Wyatt.
Oh, yeah.
And he agrees completely that this is what needs to be done to get him over.
I agree.
Even more, because, Wyatt is already over.
I agree. I think if you want, when everything comes back to normal, quotation marks, if you want new viewers, if you want to bring in people to watch your product, right, you have to have these type of matches. You have to have this type of entertainment. Because the days of you watching regular wrestling matches, the generation we're at now, they don't want to see that. And I get it now. I get it. I'm one of those, old school, I want to see an actual wrestling match, but I get it, man. The generation that we're going through now is not when we grew up watching wrestling. It evolved. So when we started watching wrestling, it was an evolution of the previous generations. Mm-hmm. So those guys that watched wrestling before are probably like, this new stuff is shit. We don't want to watch this.
Right.
So I get it. You have to evolve. And I think that's where WWE's going. They've got the money to produce stuff like this.
Yeah,
dude.
cinematic matches is where it needs to go next.
Lucha Underground. I've been saying it. I was saying it weeks ago on the podcast. I said this is where it needs to go for it to be successful. This is where it needs to go. And look at the 2 matches that were filmed like that were the most talked about matches on the card. So
I'm with you. I'd watch a little bit more because one thing that's said about pro wrestling, it's a male soap opera. Well, it's time you make it into a soap opera for a little while.
People know. They're in on it, man. They know already.
Yeah, people know, and at the business's own fault, they know.
Look at the movie. What movie do you love the most as a wrestling movie?
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred. We know it's a movie, but when Hulk Hogan was fighting Zeus, were you not like, you were like that. Yeah. Even though it's a movie, that's what you need.
And even if it needs to go there for 2 or 3 years, it's fine. It's
fine.
Let that be the evolution of this business. You can pull it off. You can do it. And then we've got the main event that goes 4 minutes and 35 seconds between Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre, man. I thought it was a great main event.
I thought it was the exact same match of Braun and Goldberg. It was like 2 moves. It was the same thing. Who's gonna hit who's finish? How many times?
Right.
But props to Brock for the way he sold.
Right.
You know what I mean? The way he sold and the way that he.
Well, we could tell back at Royal Rumble we could tell he likes Drew.
He likes him.
And was gonna give it to him because he sold for him.
He not only sold for him, but if you watch one of the Raws where Drew McIntyre attacks him on the ramp, he's actually coaching him on what to do. Like Drew McIntyre hits him with the Claymore kick, and Brock is on the floor, and he tells him, "Get the belt, grab the belt," to grab the belt and put it up. Like, yeah, this is my title. He's coaching him right through it. So, a lot of people on Twitter gave Brock a lot of props. Kevin Nash is one of them, actually. I saw that said, he's a pro's pro. Now, that's the way you do it. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you're right. It was only like 4 moves.
he kicked out at 1.
Yeah, I know we noticed that on
We were
the night
like,
we watched it.
what?
It was only 4 moves, and as opposed to the detriment of Goldberg only being allowed to use 2 moves, Lesnar, I believe he uses 2 moves by choice.
Who's gonna tell him not to?
Exactly. I mean, I believe he does it by choice versus Goldberg, who's like, okay, this is what you want me to do. Fine, I'll do that. I think Lesnar's just like, no, we're not doing that. I'm doing suplex and I'm doing F5 and we're going home.
That's fine.
And it works for him because he's been at the top, and he doesn't care.
Yes.
He doesn't care, and nobody's gonna make him care. And none of the marks who hate him can make him care, and it's fine because we remember a Lesnar who can do a lot.
Yeah.
But we don't necessarily need that from Lesnar.
We don't need to see a shooting star press.
No, absolutely not.
All I want to see is, hit him with a bunch of suplexes. F5. Maybe, what spot I missed that he used to do? The triple power bombs. Like the 3 power bombs he used to do?
Yeah, he's done with that.
Oh, yeah. That'll blow him up, dude.
That'll blow him up, yeah. That's a hard move to do.
Yeah.
But McIntyre is the right guy, the right size. They have to be careful. They have to be careful with him, though.
I think they're already going in a bad path with him.
The next night?
Next night, fights Big Show, and it was just a real awkward match.
Well, you know what? Obviously, McIntyre goes over. He is the new champion, rightfully so. It was time to pass the torch.
Sure.
But as I said, we have to be careful because, again, they try to put him over the next night with Big Show and do the body slam, right? I want McIntyre to slow down. Maybe they may not want him to slow down, but I want him to slow down because he's big enough that he can slow down.
Yeah.
And still mean something. I noticed that when he did that body slam, obviously it's important to WWE because they replayed it and they put it on GIFs and they put it, everywhere. That's the still of the match. Right? It's not the Claymore, it's none of that. It's the body slam. I noticed that he didn't sell afterwards. He went instantly into the pin. And all I could think was, brother, think about Hogan.
The back.
Think about the back.
Yep.
Take a moment. Because if that's not the end, then you don't need to rush for the pin.
Right.
If he's kicking out, he's kicking out regardless. Milk it. That's the only thing I hope McIntyre does throughout this reign. And I hope it lasts, 3-4 months or at least.
Well, I mean, it's got to last 3-4 months just because, you've invested so much into him.
Yeah.
You got it. You got to. I mean, could you imagine him just, losing the title at the next pay-per-view?
It'd be terrible, man.
He's done. Like, he's bye-bye career.
Well, that's essentially what they did to Braun Strowman. It was a lot of start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. You can't. Now that you've got the pedal on McIntyre, keep it going.
Yeah, man, full throttle.
Just keep it going. Present him with some threats, even though it doesn't seem like there's any threats in the foreseeable future.
I don't know. A heel that can go up against him right now? Can you think of anybody?
No, I don't know the roster that well.
Are you going to put Seth Rollins against them? No.
They look like the same person.
No, dude. I mean, Bobby Lashley possibly. I mean,
you know what? When you say that, it's wow. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wow. I really haven't seen any good heels other than Orton. But you know that Orton's not going over in anything he does, really.
Well, I don't think he's done with Edge either.
No, that's gonna keep going.
So,
even though I would like to see it stop right now.
We'll see.
That should be the exclamation point at the end of that, but it's not. It's gonna keep going until probably SummerSlam.
Yeah, you're right. I think that should, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't have any idea who. I mean, Bray Wyatt.
There's not. Yeah, but he's on SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown.
There's not a lot of credible heels.
We're looking through the matches right now to see, and I can't think of one person. Please don't let it be Corbin. No, he's on SmackDown too. Where's AJ on Raw? AJ's on Raw.
Yeah.
AJ?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
that's fine.
I think AJ will be great just because of his match with The Undertaker. A lot of people are going to remember that, so.
Right. I mean, there are matches there, but is there something meaningful for McIntyre? Obviously, not every single pay-per-view defense and every single match has to be meaningful, but they're going to have to do some work to really step up their heel game.
Here's the thing, man. When you're the champion, you got to have that dance partner that gets the best out of you. Like, Brett had, Shawn. Flair had Steamboat. Hogan had, Andre the Giant and Savage. You got to have that person. And if you don't, it's going to be really tough because in wrestling, man, you really, I believe you really got to rely on another person to make or break you, because if you don't, you can be the greatest wrestler in the world, but if you don't have a good dance partner with you, that's not going to matter, Lesnar for so many years had the Undertaker, he had Kurt Angle, you had badasses. Dude.
Yeah, he had Big Show, he had Undertaker,
yeah,
like you said.
No doubt. Who does McIntyre have? I mean, it's not going to be Lesnar again. I don't think so. I think he's done. So.
You know how terrible it would be if they do a rematch and Lesnar beats him?
Oh, man, dude.
That's not good. It's not good because Lesnar's not a guy he's not a heel that has to cheat. That's the problem.
He doesn't have to
cheat. So when he defeats you, you're defeated.
He does. When have you seen Paul Heyman get involved in a match?
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
I remember the genius time, as instrumental as he is to Lesnar. The biggest time I remember is when he turned on Lesnar and helped the Big Show beat him. I remember that because it's true. It's like he doesn't need him there other than being a mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. But in order to beat somebody, Lesnar doesn't need anybody.
Nope.
And that's dangerous because once he beats you, you're done.
You're done because it's like you can't say, well, he beat me because he
pulled
my tights or he gave me a low blow. Like,
right.
No, he beat you because he's better than you and he kicked your ass.
Yeah, that's the impression. Like, yeah, he's better than him.
He's just better than him.
So you got to be careful. That wraps up the 2-night WrestleMania. Man. Look, for us, since there's nobody there in the crowd, who was OverAF to you, Danny?
I'm going to go with The Undertaker, man. Throughout the whole pay-per-view, I think The Undertaker was over. I mean, that match that he had with AJ was one for the record books, man. I think it was one of the best WrestleMania matches I've seen in a very long time. Matches, quotation marks matches, but it was definitely the most entertaining. I think Undertaker's.
Absolutely, man. 2 nights and 21 matches later, I have to agree with you and say Undertaker was definitely over AF in my eyes. I was happy for him.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there comes a time when you find out about Undertaker having a match and you kind of go, ugh.
Right.
It's going to be slow. Like he's not in his prime anymore. But this was the right way, and he definitely is the OverAF candidate for WrestleMania 36, and rightfully so. And with that being said, we put a wrap on Season 2 of OverAF. Honestly, Danny, as I always say, it's a pleasure working with you, being able to watch these old pay-per-views and literally be surprised at how many things we have in common and how many things we argue about and disagree about. It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we hope you enjoyed Season 2 of OverAF. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with a full season of episodes. What are some of the events you're looking forward to watching that we haven't seen yet?
I'm looking forward to, and I know the fans are, more ECW. Because I know Thorne doesn't like ECW. I don't know if he doesn't like it, he just doesn't watch it. But I definitely want to do more ECW for the next season. So for all you ECW fans, don't worry, we're going to get there. That's what I'm looking forward to. And, just to say thank you too, as far as this month already, we're close to already 100 downloads, which to us is amazing. I mean, we thank you so much for the support. Thank you for letting us be a part of your day, even if it's for a couple of hours, hopefully entertaining you, through this crisis that we're all going through, and we're going to be fine. We're going to pull through it. Everybody stay safe. And, if you haven't listened to our older episodes, give them a shot, take a listen to them, and you can see how we've evolved and our chemistry has gotten better through every other episode. And, you know, a lot more to come, man. If you guys got any suggestions on any segments, and you know, like the What's Over Now segment came out of nowhere. You know, it was just something we wanted to throw in there because we know that, you know, a lot of people, while they do love the old pay-per-views, you also want to stay current and let people know what's going on now, and you can kind of compare the two eras, the two, you know.
That was part of the evolution of the show.
Yeah, exactly. So we're looking forward to evolving more and doing more. If you guys got any ideas, shoot it our way, man. Hit us up on, you know, social media at OverAFpod. We'll really appreciate it on Facebook as well. Give us a follow and give us your feedback. We really appreciate it. We wouldn't have this show if it wasn't for you guys. And we just want to thank you and can't wait for season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. If we didn't see the numbers growing, if we didn't see that anybody cared, we would have stopped this. But with every episode, we're growing. And not only just in fans, but we're also, you know, understanding each other's personalities more.
Yeah.
With every episode. And I'm so grateful for that. As far as the next season, I'm looking forward to WCW, as I always have. Literally, you know what? Anything that we do, I'm talking about me and you, it's fun.
No doubt.
It's fun. So I'm looking forward to WCW. I'm looking forward to TNA. I'm looking forward to what you pick with ECW. And I'm just looking forward to the show getting better. And most importantly, for us to be a part of a relief in your day. Honestly. Because the download numbers for one episode only, which was WrestleMania 25, for it to be at 100 means that we're doing something right. And we appreciate you. And whatever you got to do to stay safe during COVID-19, which is going on right now, please do it. And if our shows bring you a little joy, thank you so much. One of the things I wanted to mention is if you are interested in being featured on any episodes in Season 3, please contact OverAFpod at yahoo.com. We're willing to work with any business, especially at a time right now. Danny?
Yeah.
I think it's about that time, dude.
Absolutely.
For Alex Thorne and Danny Garcia, we are Over AF.
It's no secret that many students struggle with understanding math. I know I was one, and I was definitely a visual learner that needed something before I could understand. Many of these students give up on understanding math at a young age, excluding themselves from a wide range of opportunities. In an effort to change students' attitudes about learning, Mashup Math was formed by a group of young teachers with a passion for teaching math visually. Mashup Math shares free animated math lessons that explain difficult math concepts in a colorful and easy to follow way. They make lessons for all grade levels, so check out their channel and free video library at youtube.com/mashupmath. Again, that's youtube.com/mashupmath. And be sure to subscribe. They add new lessons every single week. Once again, that's Mashup Math. Learn math visually. And as always, don't forget to let them know Thorne sent ya.